Muscatine, year two. Steve, thanks so much for joining us tonight.
Happy to be here.
Been a little bit busy the last couple of weeks.
Yes, been very busy, but for a good reason.
Yeah, you're at that situation where we weren't sure what was going to happen with the Diamond Sports in the state of Iowa, the only state in the union that still plays summer baseball and softball. And we got the word, at the end of May that it was going to happen, that baseball and softball was going to happen in the state of Iowa. And you're coming into year two. What was that? I mean, did you know that you had a good chance to have an extremely competitive team this year?
Yeah, we lost some good seniors last year, but I felt the kids that were returning were competitive. They're athletic. They played a lot of ball through travel and growing up. So I felt we still had enough experience and talent to return to be competitive. At the beginning of the season, I don't know if I would actually say that we'd be sitting where we are now. But I thought that we improved as the season went on, and now actually I'm not surprised that we're sitting here.
Well, let's talk about where you're sitting. The Mississippi Athletic Conference sets a record and sends 5 of its members to the state tournament in multiple classes, North Scott and Assumption in 3A and 4A respectively. And then yourself, Bettendorf and Pleasant Valley make it to the state tournament in Class 5A. And you guys were the MAC champs. I know that 18-2 was obviously a great record that you had this year, but it maybe wasn't. You guys weren't picked to be the favorites to win the conference, and you're proving that you can play with the best of them in the state.
Yeah, I think we were originally selected by the coaches to finish 4th, which is fine for us. That's before the season starts, and it's just predictions. We felt that it was a little bit of disrespect and tried to use that a little bit to fuel the girls a little bit, put a little chip on their shoulder. And the girls just worked hard, and they feel a little bit disrespected, by the state and different things, our ranking. And we felt like we didn't take a big jump after beating number 2 4A North Scott, doubleheader at 3rd place early in the season. We didn't move at all. And I think in the long run that kind of hurt us. With a short season, we didn't have enough time to move up further to get a better seed in regionals and equate to a better season at the state tournament. But, our girls responded with what was put in front of them, and I'm happy with what they've done.
And you mentioned you graduated some good seniors last year. This team is not a senior-heavy team, and you have some young players who are playing quite well. But, the junior leader for you, your leadoff hitter, Riley Moss, the number 1 hitter in Class 5A and the number 2 hitter in all of Iowa high school softball, batting .662 in the year. What a weapon it is to have someone like that at the top of your lineup.
Yeah, Riley's just outstanding. She's something special. Kids like those don't come along every year, and she sets the table for us offensively. She builds confidence for us, and the team just kind of feeds off her. And then defensively, she's so fast, and she basically covers foul line to foul line. So, she's an awesome weapon to have, and I'm just happy that she's on our team.
You look at the statistics, and you played a team the other night in Iowa City High, who is one of the top power teams in the state of Iowa. 2 girls on that team who have 12 home runs on the year, both of them going yard on Tuesday night. You're still able to win that game 15-4. And I mean, the old ball coach in me kind of starts looking at the numbers and the advanced metric type statistics. If you look at Muscatine in the categories that everyone talks about of home runs, runs scored, and batting average, you're not in the top 10 in anything in the state, but you are the number 1 team in the state of Iowa. Strikeouts, only 40 strikeouts in over 350 at bats. That's a tremendous percentage, and that's one of those hidden numbers. Your girls just always are putting the ball in play, which makes it very tough for teams.
Yeah, when you put the ball in play, hopefully good things happen for you. There's errors, there's opportunities there, and we can get runners on base, and I think that's kind of been a big thing for us. We've been able to capitalize on some errors and get some runners on and then come up with some big hits, which has equated to some runs and some wins.
And also, I believe, 2nd in Class 5A in triples on the year, too. So you're getting extra bases, too, when you're putting the ball in play, and that's on a smaller field with a 60-foot base pass, that means you've got some real speed on the diamond.
Yeah, and we knew coming in that we're not going to be a power hitting team. I mean, we're not going to drive the ball over the fence a lot. We have a few girls that I think can do it, but for the most part, we knew that speed was going to be our big thing, speed and athleticism. And we're just hoping to put the ball in play, use our speed, steal some bases, move some runners, capitalize on some mistakes, and just continually try to put pressure on the other team.
Talk about your pitchers. That's obviously a tremendous part of any softball program. Chalupa pitched really well the other night. She pitched well all season long. What can you say about your pitching staff as the season's gone on?
We have a young pitching staff. I think, Bree Seaman's only a sophomore. This is the first year where she's had quite a bit of varsity experience, and Mara Kalupa is just a freshman, and she's about the same boat. Last year, they kind of shared the number 2 spot behind Carrie Nelson. I think they both accepted the role very well. They both complement each other very well. They're a little bit different in the type of pitches that they throw and kind of how they approach the game. But they both have done a great job for us. Mara has kind of taken over a little bit here towards the end. She was kind of delayed at the beginning of the season with an elbow injury, so she didn't get the pitching early on. So she was playing catch up, and I think now that she's been throwing more, you're starting to see her come along a little bit more. Up at City High, actually, if you look at the 2 Davenport North games, she came in and pitched very well. She did a nice job against Lynn Marr coming in relief. And then so we made a decision that she seemed to be our hot hand at the moment. So we started against City High. We had a game plan going in. I thought she did a very good job executing it. We knew we would give up some home runs. The plan was solo home runs for the most part, not let the bases get full, and then give up the home run. And it worked out for us. She did a great job.
It's been 7 years since Muscatine was at the state tournament in Fort Dodge. It's a tradition-rich program is Muscatine softball, and that's something that I know was important to you when you took the job. And I first learned about you when you really had the major turnaround at Durant as the head softball coach there. How important was it to you? And were you surprised to be already back to Fort Dodge here just in year 2 as you're trying to restore that tradition? 20 years ago, Muscatine won the state title, and now this year you're back having another chance.
I was just waiting for the opportunity to come back to Muscatine. I've lived here my whole life. My 3 daughters went to school there. I went to school there. So very, very important for me to be in Muscatine. It's home to me. I have a lot of passion for it. And to get the opportunity to coach at the high school here, my main goal was to try to bring the tradition back to Muscatine. I remember the powerhouses that Muscatine used to have in softball. I'm surprised that that we were able to get to Fort Dodge in the second year. I'm happy that we are. The big thing for us now is we need to be consistent. I don't want to go to Fort Dodge 1 year and then be another 7-10 years before we get there. So we got a lot of work to do to continue to build the depth of the program and the lower levels of the program. Been trying to do that with starting our own feeder teams down at the younger age groups, 10U, 12U, 14U, and trying to instill the fundamentals that we're building at the high school level as early as possible so the kids are familiar, and we kind of break that transition into high school, make it a little bit easier for them if they start to learn at a younger age. So we're trying to put those things in place, but it just takes time to get those lower levels developed and teams developed and get what we're teaching at the high school level down there. So that's my next big goal now, is just to continue to try to be consistent and continue to build the program at the lower levels up. So we're talking about the state tournament every year.
And now we're looking at the state tournament on Monday. You play at 1:00 in Fort Dodge. What do you think about the matchup that you've got in the first round?
When you get to the state tournament, all the teams are good. They're there for a reason. And we played Valley last year in a tournament in Iowa City, went extra innings, and we were fortunate enough to beat them. They graduated some seniors. We graduated some seniors, but they just reload every year. They got a great coach. They got a great tradition, great program. We're going to have to be prepared. We're going to have to come in and play a good, clean game. I don't think our girls are intimidated. Playing in the MAC and the teams that we've played, I think they're very confident. So the big thing for us is getting a quick start so we can build some confidence. And I think if we do that, I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, it just seems like West Des Moines Valley is good at everything. I mean, they're good at every sport. It seems like they're always prepared. And you mentioned the feeder programs that you're continuing to build here in Muscatine. The Des Moines metro area is chock full of the feeder programs, and West Des Moines definitely benefits from that. And then you have the 1 seed on the other side of the bracket playing another MAC team, Fort Dodge. The state hasn't seen a pitcher like the Jalen Adams, the girl from Fort Dodge, in a while, and it could be interesting. You might get to see her in the state title game.
Yeah, hopefully we're looking forward to it. We had an opportunity to possibly play last year in like a semifinal game up in their tournament during the season. It got rained out, so we never got an opportunity to play them. So we've never seen them play. I've read a lot about her. I've heard a lot about her. She seems to be an outstanding pitcher. So hopefully once we get past Valley, we'll get the opportunity to see her.
Yeah, I'm not just pulling for you guys to get to the state title game. I kind of like to see that matchup. One of my college friends is an assistant coach for the Fort Dodge softball team, so I'd like to give him a hard time when you guys take him down. So
that would be nice.
And let's talk about your assistants. I know Bob Gant was with you in Durant, and you've also got some other assistants here. It's never just a head coach's effort. There's always so much going on. Talk about your assistants a little bit.
Yeah, Bob's been with me for a long time. It started way back when my daughter, 16 years ago, was 10 and under. Bob and I coached the Muscatine Maniacs travel ball team for a number of years till the girls got up into high school, and then we went to Durant. I brought Bob with me. Bob's expertise is pitching. He's a great pitching coach. He knows what he's doing. He does a great job of calling games. Him and I know each other so well that we kind of work well together. Not saying we don't have our disagreements, but, we bounce everything off each other, and then ultimately I make the decision. But Bob's a very valuable asset to the Muskie softball program. The other assistant is Jennifer Haig. She's normally my JV1 head coach. This year with the virus, we went with just varsity. So Jen came along on the varsity level, which is actually kind of nice because it gave an opportunity for her and I and Bob to work together. So now she has a better understanding of what we're trying to do as a coach and in the program. She's got a lot of knowledge. She was a player at Muscatine herself. She brings a lot of Muskie passion with her, which kind of relates down to the kids. And then the other coach is Megan Kublik. That's actually Jennifer Haig's niece. And Megan played ball up at Wilton, and I battled against her when I was coaching in Durant, and she was at Wilton. She was a great player. She went on to play up at Kirkwood. So she brings also that player mentality. She knows what it's like to be a player. She knows what it's like to prepare for games, what it takes, not only at the high school level, but at the college level. So I have great assistant coaches. They do a great job with the program. I'm fortunate to have all three of them.
And it's so important to have quality assistants that you can trust. And I know and I have worked for some head coaches that it's great when they do, when there is some arguments, because that's often how you create some new philosophies, and you work better as a team. So it's important you can trust each other and can say whatever you need to say, but at the end of the day, you're always working for the same common goal.
Yep, that's true, and we do, and I encourage the assistant coaches to come forward with ideas and suggestions, and we talk it out, and then ultimately I'll make a decision that I feel is the right decision, and sometimes I'm right and sometimes I'm wrong.
Yep, that's how it always works. But I really appreciate you taking the time with us today, Steve. We like to try to end things a little bit with some fun questions, and so I'll end this with you. When you're not at the softball diamond, at practice or thinking about the game plan, or which I know it's a year-round thing. It's not just in the summertime thing. But what are the hobbies for Steve Hopkins?
My wife and I, when softball's over, we love to camp. We take our camper, I throw the kayaks in, my little smoker in, and we go camping a lot. Like to take the kayaks out. I like to fish out of my kayak, or I'll fish off the land. It's just kind of a peaceful way to get away and kind of relax after a long season. And then when camping's done, we're into wintertime, and we're thinking about open gyms and getting ready to start rolling for the next season. So my main hobby is my wife and I going camping pretty much all fall into the parks closing down.
And we've got to figure out a way to get an indoor facility for hitting. We can't let North Scott have the nicest facility in the conference. That's my belief, at least.
I feel the same way, and I understand logistics about it. They're not cheap; it takes money. But if you look at our conference, everybody's getting those indoor practice facilities. The high school softball program, we're lacking in facilities. We don't even have our own field, and let alone our own practice facility. So when the weather's bad or in the wintertime, we're in a gym, and it's just not conducive for what we need to do. But the girls and we make the best of it, but it would definitely be nice to have an indoor practice facility for baseball and softball.
Yeah, and there's ways to make it benefit many other students and student athletes as well. So you've got a champion on the outside in me. So if you ever need anything, you just let me know, and I'll be as vocal as I can be.
Will do. Thank you.
All right, Coach Hopkins, Steve Hopkins, leading the Muskies back to Fort Dodge for the state tournament. They play Monday against West Des Moines Valley. That game is at 1 o'clock. You can go to the Iowa High School Girls Athletic Union website for ways to track that game and even watch it potentially. So we're looking forward to that game, and a victory there would you take on the winner of the Pleasant Valley game, and so maybe you have another MAC conference matchup there in the second round, semifinals.
Yeah, I never really thought I'd see another conference team at the state tournament, but, we want to play who's ever in front of us. If it's a MAC team or not, we're ready to go.
Yeah, well, you've got two of them in the tournament still with Bettendorf and Pleasant Valley. Again, your Muscatine Muskies are the girls' Mississippi Athletic Conference champs, and a record-breaking year for the conference. So that's saying a lot. I know it was a shortened season. Your girls are used to playing 35 to 45 games in the summer, and you only were able to play 20. But you made everyone count. 18-2 on the year, and here's to hopefully 3 more wins than the state title.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thanks, Steve. Really appreciate it.
Yep, thank you.
This has been TBD with Coach Kraushaar, brought to you by Chamberlain Heating and Air Conditioning. Again, make sure you check out the little video that I put together of this brisket I smoked on a Green Mountain grill. Steve, so you mentioned you have a little smoker that you take camping with you. What kind do you have?
Well, I have 2. I have a Masterbuilt, which is a bigger one.
Yep.
That I use at home, and then I have a smaller charbroil that's small enough for me to take with me. And I like to do the pork butt, the ribs, the brisket, and all that. I prefer the electric smoker just because I don't have to worry about dealing with charcoal, and I don't have to worry about running out of gas. So I like to.
That's what I love. That's what I love about this Green Mountain pellet grill that I have from that I got from Chamberlain's. Is I made a brisket. I cooked it for 20 hours over the weekend, and I can run it all from my phone. I can control the entire thing from my cell phone, and I didn't even have to add pellets to the hopper once. It's got an 18-pound hopper, and it surprised me. I was expecting you have to babysit it a little bit more, and it's pretty cool. It's something that when one of those maybe retires, I had a Masterbuilt electric smoker as well, and I had to retire it, and the electrical component went out. I'm over the moon with this thing. So
I also have a Traeger pellet grill that you can smoke. I don't use it to smoke much. I use it more basically as a grill. I actually like to try to start smoking with a little bit more, just to kind of see how it works. But my other 2 smokers are what I use mostly.
Yeah, I baked a cheesecake on my grill about a month ago. It was I just kind of did it to see if I could do it, and it was Father's Day, so I could do whatever I wanted. No one could get mad at me, so it worked out pretty well. So you're welcome to come back anytime, and we can maybe even do a cooking segment. It sounds like you know what you're doing when it comes to the grill and the smoker. So
yeah, and I like to eat, so that's right up my lane.
Sounds good. Well, appreciate it, Coach. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, so tonight, it's a Tuesday night, just a quick little family supper. We've got these really nice Iowa chops that are about 1.25 inches thick. I've brined them in a brining solution that's 2 cups of water, 1/3 cup of brown sugar, and 1/3 cup of kosher salt, and some garlic, some just crushed cloves of garlic. Then you put another 4 cups of ice. So that's your brine. They've been in there since about 8 o'clock this morning. We're gonna hit those on the Green Mountain pellet grill at 400 degrees. They should take about a half hour, 15 minutes on each side, just like you would cook them on a gas grill. So I'm excited. These are big pork chops, looking forward to it. All right, so now I'm back out at the grill. It's my Daniel Boone Wi-Fi Plus Green Mountain pellet grill that I got from Chamberlain Heating and Air Conditioning here in Muscatine. I've got it set to 400 degrees so I can do these big old Iowa chops on. That's what I would set my gas grill. I have a Weber 2 Weber Genesis over here. I still love that grill. And I would cook these pork chops at 400 on there, but this is going to be much easier to manage that heat with the Daniel Boone here from GMG. All right, so let me just get this ready and get this on the grill, and away we go. Got it nice and preheated. I'm just gonna throw them on there right like that. Sorry, get them in the shot. Amateur. I'm just kidding. There we go. That's a big one. Man, this is nice. You can hear that sizzle on those grill grates, and away we go. So about 15 minutes, I'll be back out to check on them here. We're gonna check on these bad boys and flip them. Again, Joel Kraushaar here, doing some brined pork chops on the pellet grill today. You hear that fan rolling, cooking at 400 degrees. Just got a good little turn. See, got some good grill marks going on that. See, we got them flipped and turned, getting a good little cook. And we brined these in a solution of sugar and salt and garlic, and that really helps keep the juiciness in these big cuts of meat, like these pork chops. And just cook these like a steak. You can cook a pork chop medium rare, no problem, if you wanted to. I'm going to go into a hard medium on this though today, so we'll check these out in about 20 minutes. All right, so now we've got our pork chops off of our Green Mountain pellet grill. These are big Iowa chops. Go to a restaurant and you get a pork porterhouse for like 30 bucks at a restaurant, and it's just an Iowa chop that you can get here. Delicious for, you know, 3 bucks. And cook it yourself. And you can see that. You can see all the juice that's coming out of that. That's that brining process. Just keeps so much more moisture into that. Cook this at 400 degrees, perfectly done. You can see a little bit of pink around the outside, and that's that wood fire pellet grill from the Green Mountain Grill to get you that little bit of smoke ring, even when you're cooking at a higher temperature. So this is going to be a delicious. This is just a weeknight supper. It took me 35 minutes to make this. And I brined them this morning, and it took me 2 minutes to make the brine. Boil some water, put some salt and sugar in it, and me and my boys, we're going to have a good meal tonight. And my wife, who doesn't love pork chops, I'm really interested to see how she likes this preparation for you. So thanks for watching my clip here, and thanks for watching TBD with Coach Kraushaar. And the thing I love about our Green Mountain Grill is that you get it from a dealer. Chamberlain Heating and Air Conditioning here in Muscatine, Iowa is our dealer for Green Mountain Grills. And I love it because if I have a question, I can call them and they just help me, because I'm still learning how to cook on this thing, and it's doing really well. So thanks for watching.